Anton van den Bos is getting ready for his voyage. He starts the engine, casts off, and raises the fender. 5 minutes later and the ship sets off. He will go down the River Maas in the south of the Netherlands aboard his Elling E6 yacht.
It's like being a captain on an ocean liner.
Anton is not a captain. He is an engineer whose hobby, sailing, has become his living. He runs the Elling Yacht Yard, where such vessels are built.
I'm a hobbyist sailor. I sail sailboats myself and I do some motoring, but not professional. But this boat is so easy to handle, so that it's no problem to run it anywhere and to dock it. That is the most important, that you are able to dock the boat on your own.
Automatic equipment helps run the 65-foot boat.
Most important is the hydraulic bow and stern thruster. First of all, you can turn the boat on the axis, no problem. You can turn it completely 360 degrees with the touch of a button. But you can also, once you are docked on the side, you can put the hydraulic bow and stern thruster on hold, and it will push it against the side. That gives you the time to moor up with the lines.
The citizens of local town Heusden don't seem to be easily surprised by such tricks. On his boat, Anton comes here with his visitors and customers, quite often demonstrating the yacht's capabilities to them. Getting into a narrow harbor of the old town just a centimeter away from concrete gates? It is quite possible. What about capsizing? That's not a problem either. Several years ago, Anton really did topple the yacht industry.
I decided it because the boat was calculated to be able to self-right itself. So I wanted to do it much earlier, but there was not a direct need. But when we heard from competitors that they say the boat is not capable of doing this, then I said, okay, we will do it.
That was a full keel over. And yes, one more detail, Anton was inside the Elling E4.
I had my tie on, so you could see the angle, and at a certain moment the tie was hanging upside down, so you could see that the boat was really upside down. And then we released the cable and the boat popped up immediately.
So now it has been proven in practice. Elling boats return on an even keel no matter how badly they were tilted.
That was done with the E4. This boat, we didn't do the capsize test on the E6, but we calculated the boat as being self-righting. So it will have the same capability, and once there is a customer who wants to have it done, we will do it, no problem. Gives you a very, very safe feeling, especially afterwards. If you go then with the boat on the ocean, there is bad weather or whatsoever, nothing can happen to you.
The history of Elling dates back to 1997, when an employee of a chemical company came to the Neptune marine shipyard with an interesting proposal.
I was working for a big chemical company making very strong aramid fiber. We all know that this aramid fiber is sold worldwide under the name Kevlar. And this material is really fit for bulletproof vests. My job in the former industry was to develop new applications for this aramid fiber. And one of the possible applications for a very strong fiber could be boating industry.
This material, Anton reckoned, can be used to build the most durable vessels in the world, which can withstand icebergs and containers lost in the open sea.
We developed a laminate with glass fiber, but also with this Kevlar fiber, in order to make the boat absolutely collision-proof if you have a coincidence, you hit a rock or a container that's floating just under the water level, you don't get a catastrophic failure of the boat and the boat will not sink.
Kevlar is as solid as steel and is as light as plastic. A boat made of such material becomes a real bulletproof vest for its owner.
There was a customer once who hit a concrete bridge, and the Kevlar indeed did its job. The glass fiber was splintered, the furniture in the boat even was completely crashed, but the hull itself stayed intact. There was no water coming into the boat and the boat could return to the yard on its own keel and we could do the repair here. If it would have been an ordinary glass fiber reinforced boat, the boat would have definitely sunk. Our mission is to make the safest boat in the world.
Everything starts here. This is the matrix for making the hull. The inside part is due to be covered with multiple layers of fiberglass. It takes about 5.5 metric tons of such fiberglass to build the Elling E6, for example. Then the hull gets 2 layers of Kevlar and it is then covered with another layer of fiberglass.
We can apply the white gel coat, for instance, when it's the white hull. And as soon as it's cured, we start in the first layer. And the second day, we are getting multiple layers of fiberglass in it. And when that's cured, we're getting a combi mat and a layer of Kevlar reinforcement in the hull.
The E6 rests up to 4 weeks in this workshop, while the Dutchmen weave the web of super-resistant fiber, install aluminum framings in some parts of the boat for more durability, for example, along the board, and by the engine bearings. And all this is done by hand.
The advantage with handwork compared with, let's say, under a vacuum, that you will get your hand layup in a better aesthetic way from polyester.
And here it is, the birth of a boat. Then the ready-made hull is taken from the matrix like peeling an egg. Now this Elling will go on to be painted, while they start assembling a new hull here. By the way, its design is semi-displacement in order to let it gain good speed.
It's a semi-displacement and that means the boat has a keel. And the keel is very important. First of all, it protects the propeller. If you hit the bottom, the propeller will not be harmed. Second of all, if you have side wind, the boat will not drift. So you keep the boat steady and it goes very much straight. And when you have a lot of wind and you have to dock the boat, it's no problem at all because of this keel.
According to the European Union classification, the Elling's seaworthiness is Category A, meaning that it can venture anywhere without limitations. These yachts can cross oceans with no refueling, by the way. From the Canary Islands to the Caribbean Sea, it is 2,500 miles and it takes 2,500 liters of fuel for 16 days at a speed of 7.5 knots. This is a real practice of using the Elling E4 model.
The boat is extremely cost economic. You can, with only 2,500 liters of fuel, you can cross the Atlantic Ocean. And the Elling E4 is capable of having 2,500 liters of fuel on board. The Elling E6 even contains 5,000 liters of fuel. So with the E6 it's even easier to cross the Atlantic Ocean on its own keel. These
yachts enjoy adventures and are made for a serious working load. these are the vessels of choice for brave and active yachtsmen. Ellings are built to enable their owners to travel to different places on our globe, from the hot Caribbean islands to severe Arctic waters. Yes, this vessel will survive in the ice sea. Double-glazed windows and high-quality thermal insulation can protect from the frost. These boats go with the flow, and exploring has been the trend in the past few years. I've been dreaming of making boats since I was a child. As soon as I finished school, I came here to work. I was 16 then. It is probably in their blood. The Dutch love their boats. It has been a matter of national pride over the recent 500 years. According to Global Order Book, the Netherlands is one of the top 3 countries in the world by number of vessels built here. For 8 years, Stefan has been working at the Elling Yacht. For the past 3 years, he has been building his own boat in his free time. 3 years ago, I bought this boat. It was a jalopy, so I decided to make it a speedboat according to my own project. Stefan learned carpentry here at the yacht yard. Today, he heads the whole team. He teaches his new workers. I'm an official mentor. I have a license. It is so interesting, as I came here not that long ago and I myself didn't know anything. Stefan works in the main Elling workshop. Here they furnish the boats with interior objects. Here we do everything ourselves. Everything is handcrafted, tables and chairs. In standard boats, we mainly use cherry tree wood. Almost all woodworks are handmade, especially when it comes to solid wood. This is the only way to make it beautiful. Apart from the manual labor, there's a lot of automation. This high-tech machine can produce parts with set dimensions and cuts both wood and aluminum into any shape. The workshop can house 5 boats at the same time. The E4 leave Suter, the E6 rest here up to 8 weeks until all the carpentry is complete and the equipment is set.
We are here in the heart of the Elling E4. This is the most important part because here we find the engine, the strong, powerful 435 horsepower Volvo Penta diesel engine. It's a 6-cylinder engine.
The maximum speed of this model is 17 knots. The Elling E6 has more power, a 900 horsepower Volvo Penta D13 engine, which gives it speeds of up to 23 knots. The noises and vibrations of the engine are suppressed by the special construction of the driving shaft. In the saloon and the wheelhouse, it never exceeds 70 decibels while running.
This engine is mounted flexible. That means that the engine can move freely on very soft rubber mounts. That is only possible if the driving force of the shaft is taken up by a bearing. That bearing is from Aquadrive. The bearing is fixed onto a steel plate that is mounted to the boat. That steel plate pushes the boat forward. And there are no forward-going, no axial forces to the engine. And that makes the boat much more comfortable.
In addition to the main engine, the boat has a fully autonomous auxiliary.
Very important is that if anything happens to the engine, that can be, for instance, by polluted fuel in the main fuel tank, that the engine stops suddenly. Or a lightning strike. You can, with the Elling, you can always continue because the boat is equipped with a spare engine. That is a small auxiliary engine, and with that small engine in the E4 it's only 35 horsepower. It brings it up to 6 knots, and you can always get home to a safe harbor.
The Seakeeper gyroscopic stabilizer is to increase comfort on board. It decreases boat roll by 80%. Today, it is one of the most vital options on boats.
Yeah, we use the last time very much the Seakeeper. It's a very good system for the balance of the boat. We build boats to go on sea, and then when you have on sea very bad weather, then is the Seakeeper a very good item.
Another novelty is the Whisper power system, which uses lithium-ionic batteries. They are recharged by the generator, which is automatically switched off after recharging. Onboard power supply is hence provided via inverters, and this helps save fuel.
We use now the lithium batteries. It's brand new, and it's much better than the old systems. And we use the Whisper power system. It's easier for the customer. The customer needs only a shore power, or he can drive his boat, and he don't look to the system.
Piet van der Meyden has been working at the yacht yard for 33 years, and he started at Neptune. I like building yachts more than houses. Yachts have always been a luxury. It is all the more interesting. Moreover, nowadays everything is changing so rapidly in the world of yachts. They are getting more and more luxurious. The demands of our clients are also changing. They used to ask for simpler boats, but now their demands are becoming more sophisticated. Another fresh example is the E6 Highline package. It was developed by famous designer Tony Castro. He has given this model more style, paying more attention to details. The Napa leather-bound handles, chrome, tapestry, no visible plastic parts, and over 5 cubic meters of mahogany. Highline has been a very special project for us. Its materials are of higher quality, with a great deal of solid wood with more manual work applied. The interior has come out elegant, with a family-friendly atmosphere. There are discreetly inserted modern technological features, and this is just one of the examples of boat customization. They're open to any interesting ideas and suggestions from potential yacht owners, and every order is taken personally. In the nearest 5 years, the yacht yard is planning to increase its turnover from 12 to 20 million euros. They have already arranged a new lot for extra facilities.